Today, we're drawing eyes and eyebrows. Fast, fun, and perfect for beginners and manga lovers. So, grab your pencil.
Okay, so in this video, I'm going to continue on with my features. And last time we did noses and mouths, and this time I want to do some eyes and eyebrows. The simplest eyebrow you can do is just a single line hoop, right? And it is used a lot still today. Okay, the next thing you can do is you can take that line and you can give it some volume like this, so you kind of have like a hollow eyebrow like that. And then you can do the same idea but fill it in, so you've got dark eyebrows, so like this. And if you're having trouble making things match, just draw a light line and draw your shape on the line. And then if you have to, go in after and just erase. I don't think I have one here, but a putty eraser is a really good thing for this. Okay, and then you can just erase your line after you're done. So that's a good method to keep all your eyes and, you know, features in line. So like for this face here, or even if I was doing like a 3/4 face, you know, do a little manga boat shape here like that, and I want to do a 3/4, so I'm going to do that. Okay, and then we'll put the nose here like that. So for one eye, because I'm going to put this line will be the top of the eye, and I'm just going to use this idea here for an eye there. Okay, and of course this one will be wider because it's closer to us, and just a smidgen taller, not a lot taller, but definitely wider. Okay, so if we measure, and this is one of the keys to it, is if you got any kind of side angle at all. This is a front view, so both eyes should be equal or very close. But when you have a 3/4 shot, you're definitely going to make one of them thinner and one of them thicker, and possibly the closer one a little taller, but not very much. So they can be quite a bit more, you know, not as wide this way, but they have to be similar because there's not a lot of distance between here and here, of course. So the far eye is always going to be, you know, shorter this on the horizontal plane. Okay, so and then for the eyebrows, now I put two different kind of eyebrows on here, and a lot of manga will just use the same shape on both sides. So if they do like a triangle on this side, they'll put it the same way on this side, and that's a neat little thing that they do. Okay, or if you do another one here.
Hi guys, it's Jim. Please give a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel to grow. Thanks a lot.
And then let's do like this shape for an eyebrow. Super common shape like that. So, and then it slants down like that. Okay, but you just follow the lines. Make this iris more narrow than this one. That's pretty much all you got to keep in mind. Okay, so let's do my original 7-line eye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the highlight is 7. 1, 2. So draw the lines if you're not sure, right? And space them apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you're making a female and you want to do the lashes, well then it's 8, 9, 10, right? 8, 9, 10. Like that. And then, you know, however many eyes you've ever looked at is how many variations you can have. You can even start thickening this up here like this, right? Make a nice shadow on the top of the eye, on the corner of the eye, the crease of the eye, all just basic simple lines. But by having your little grid there, and then you get your gum eraser out, but what I was going to show you about the eyebrows is this: down, across, up, across, and down. So on the side, and remember the eyebrows come in a little on the inside of the eye. So on this side it'd be down, across, up, across, and like slanting down a little bit like that, and then the end of the eyebrow. So this one's not wide enough. We'll make it wider, up, across, and down. So you might say, well, that doesn't look like an eyebrow. Well, it's my kind of like grid for the eyebrow, because once you start putting in lashes, now the other thing you can do too is you can just block it in with a solid shape, right? So you can use shapes, or you can go details, whatever you want. And then this part comes in like this. It's a thicker triangle and then a thin triangle at the edge. So both styles work, and they both start off with this shape. Like that. So that's something I do. It works really well for me. And you can come up with whatever shapes you want. You know, boom, boom, add that. Boom, whoop. Turn the page a little bit here. 2 lines, and then add this little triangle here. Thicken it in if you want to, right? For more of a cartoon kind of eye, you could just do something like this. Just a teardrop. I mean, there are literally thousands or millions of different eyebrows and eyes you can do, but just want to give you some basic ideas. So this 7-line eye is really good. This eye, so let's put some eyes in here. This eye works really good, really quick, okay, and not a lot of lines, but it works good and it looks good all the time. And then once you have it in, and let me do it again. So on this one here, just get your baseline, okay, and you can decide, right, just one line and then the outside corner. And sometimes I'll just do irises with 2 straight lines like that. You'll see me do that in the Bruce Timm style Superman video that is coming out shortly, okay? Or you can do them traditional, you know, circle kind of ideas like that. You can do more sophisticated. You can do like this, like that. You can actually have them come in this way. So instead of it slanting this way, just slant it like this. Okay, so that should give you some ideas on eyebrows. And then 2 basic styles of eyes. The 7-line eye, and basically it's just a 2-line eye. 1, 2. And then you could say 3, 4, 5 if you want to add that. 6, 7, 8. And then start detailing. The basis for me for all eyes, let's say I'm doing, well, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, 3/4, let's do another 3/4 face here. And I'll put in the visor for the eyes. Notice it's slanting in like that. It's going like that to show some perspective. I'll just draw the bottom line flat and then show the top line like that to show some kind of perspective. And then my basic eye shape that I've been using for forever is this shape. Okay, then we're going to have a nose structure of some kind, and then we'll keep the bottom here, and then this one's going to be more narrow this way and skinnier this way due to perspective because it's going away. You know, if we're doing a front view, and here's the nose, just draw a line for the top of the eyes. This is my go-to shape. And you'll see that in my eye videos. Okay, that's the shape, this slanted parallelogram, and then you can chop off the outer corners and turn it into a perfectly realistic looking eye. So that's kind of one of the foundations I have in my head for drawing eyes. And then don't be afraid to just do the simplest eyebrow, you know, and then you can manipulate emotions and different things like that by using simple eyebrows. This works really, really well too. So if you've got a face anywhere, you can just basically go doot, 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 and you've got eyebrows. I guess it's like a hockey stick. Let's do a 3/4 face going the other way, like this, right? And you've got the nose somewhere here, and you've got your, there, I'll do a round iris this time, but it's all the same. And let's do this, boom, boom, and boom, boom, right? Just like that, 2 lines, essentially. Then we have a nose. There we go. Well, let's put a mouth here. Okay, so I think we have everything covered. Now I've got something really fun we're going to do. So what I thought we could do is we could compare Cleopatra and Space Eyes to the Gunsmith Cat series eyes. Okay, so if we just take, basically she has a boat for a face here, like this. Something like that. And the eyes, okay, are very wide apart. You could put an eye and a half in between here. So if we just say her mouth is here, and her nose, which is some kind of structure like that, and then we'll put a line for the eyes across here like that. And the eyes are basically something like this, right? And they've got this little dew-flicky kind of lash going up like that, and this comes in like that, and then you got a couple of miles in between here, okay, and it comes up, comes down to a point, comes in, and then we've got that little dew-flicky up here for the lash. And then we've got some big pupils in here. So they're not even putting in any pupil. They show the iris and that's it. So there's a stylized choice you can make too, okay? And you can just color that area in. But the eyebrow itself is just this. Just that one line. It's a thick line, but it's one line. And the other thing is sometimes it will get thicker. So it can go from this to this. Just taking that line, thickening it up when needed, and bending it, you know, for this one here. Basically the eyes are like that, and then this one goes down real close to the eye, like that. It's a bit of a swoop, and then this one's just like that. So real simple, and you need to develop your own. Now I'm going to show you a lot more, and we'll get into realistic stuff and everything, but just want to show you how other artists are working with them. Oh, and there's one other thing I want to point out that's super important. So let's say we take the cover picture here and we just do like a, what I call the B heart. So you draw a bit of a B, letter B here, and then you draw a heart shape, right? So I call it the B heart. And you'll notice if you measure, which I measure a lot, that this eye is about 4, almost, well, it is 5 millimeters, and this one is 4. Now you say, well, that's only 1 millimeter, but it's consistent across the board. Whenever there's an angled face, the closer eye, this one is 7 millimeters, This one is only 5. Okay, and that's just something you need to put in your artistic drawing mental library. See, look here, this one's closer. It's is about 9 millimeters, and this one here is 7. So closer eye, always wider. Farther eye, always thinner. Closer eye is usually taller too, but they're going to be close. This one's 8. This one is about 7, maybe, yeah, about 7, and this one is, you know, probably 8. So that's 2 things you want. If it's on a 3/4 view, will be more narrow than this one over here, even if it's not a lot. And let's move this eye over a couple of miles here, because that's, you know, part of her design, right, is that she's got wide spaced eyes. And some people really do have eyes that are spaced wide apart, but not as much as this. Usually if a real person has eyes this far apart, it's a deformity and not healthy, which we don't want. So there you go. And yeah, I'm making a mess now. Okay, so it's still not wide enough apart, right? So it should be like this wide apart. And then and for the down look, I didn't put the because she's supposed to be looking down, put the iris right on the edge of the bottom lid, right? And no eyebrows at all, hidden beneath the hair. What a good hairstyle if you want to save time. Whoa, I don't like this eye. So see, I should have drew a couple of lines, make my life easier. Right like that. There we go. Juice like that. And then the nose is splashed somewhere here, and she's yelling at something. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say, is this eye will always be wider than this eye. This eye will always be taller than this eye. All right. So now let's look at the Gunsmith Cat Girls. Okay, so this is a perfect shot of Raleigh here. Okay, and let's see if we can reconstruct it somewhat. And then let's draw our line for the eyes. Okay, it's just right in line with the tip of here, like that. And we're going to put it, they're going to be pretty tall eyes, but we are going to, you know, slant this out somewhere a few miles away. It'll connect to a vanishing point. And then we're going to draw this. I think they need to be higher. We'll draw this eye like that, and the bottom lid here. And then we'll leave a big space, and then we'll have this eye like so. Have the hair like so. I love the classic blue highlights. I just like them. Black and blue. That's what I grew up with in Marvel Comics. Alright, and then some shadow here, thick line for the upper lid. And then you can spend all day putting in lashes here. Alright, and then the iris, which is, it looks like jello almost, because it's kind of bent. And it's got a cool highlight here, and then just a speck of one right there, right? and then the actual pupil is here. And even this iris is thinner than this iris, right? This eye is obviously a lot thinner than this one. And it's slightly shorter too, right? You can see it slants down. So those are, you know, two of the main takeaways for anybody wanting to do 3/4 faces semi-correctly. All right, there we go. And in the manga, they don't put in big lips a lot of times. They do the eye teeth though, like a big cat. So there we go. All right. So that's the main thing I want to show, is how to put in the eyes like that. And eyebrows, oh my gosh, look, just the thinnest of lines. And then get your gum eraser. If you really want to do a good job with the putty eraser, get it really soft and pull it apart and get it like this. And then you can just kind of tack up. Pick up the pencil like that. I mean, I know 90% of people will have seen this already, but for the people who haven't seen it, it's always fun to see it for the first time. Not as tall, definitely not as wide. It's only a smidgen less in height, but it's a lot less in width, and that's the way to make it look convincing. Yeah, I wanted to show this one here. Here, pretty easy. Just draw a line across, and then you can start blocking out the eyes, right? And they're going to be pretty much, because it's almost a front-on picture, they're going to be almost exactly the same width. But I do think that I measured this, and the near eye is 9 millimeters, and the far eye is only 7 millimeters. So it's still smaller, okay? So he's always getting that perspective to make it more convincing that it's a 3/4 angle, and just a bit taller and just a bit wider. And then to give it the shock value, the irises don't touch either lid. And there was one other one I wanted to show in here. Oh yeah, so this dude here, she's got the super thin eyebrows there. But it does go like this. There's a bit of a corner here, and then it's a pretty thin eyebrow like that. So that was cool. But it was this dude here I wanted to show you, that he's got the, you know, if we just do his eye here. Small pupil, small highlight, but the eyebrows are big and blocky, right? Just like this, and then like that. Okay, oh yeah, it was this dude right here. So here, pretty much the same style as this guy, except now they're blocked in. So if we do this guy, his eye is like that. But the eyebrows are just big blocks. There is a little bit of a break here, and then it's blocked like that. And then this one, there's a wrinkle in the brow ridge there, and then this comes up. There's like one lash there, and then this comes out and down like that. Okay, so tons of different ways you can do eyebrows. Okay, simple yet very effective. So the last part of this video is, what if we take one character's features and put them on another character? That's what I wanted to do. So let's start with a Cleopatra face. Okay, so let's see if we can just take the shape of her face. But what if we put Rally's eyes on her. I want to, yeah, we can use this one here. This is fine. So we'll even try to put them in about the same location here, about here. And the eyes are, the irises have a lopsided shape, eh? They're not round at all. Which is kind of neat. Stylized thing. So something like that. So that looks pretty cool, mixing the two different styles. That's fun. But you know, if you want to create your own characters, you got to do some kind of experimenting. And so I'm going to do more of these mashups. And I was thinking the next one I would do might be something like, who was I thinking of? Harley Quinn? I forget who it was. Anyway, I had one lined up. So if you have any ideas for who I should mash, let me know. Put it in the comments. Now you've got lots of ideas for some eyes and eyebrows, and I'm going to do more because literally there are thousands. But I just thought I would do something fun and easy on this first one here. I can do eye and eyebrow tutorials forever and not run out. So yeah, let's just stop there. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Leave any comments that you want, and that's it.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Cheers!